Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. It's a lovely day here in Vallejo, California. Rob and I have already been to the airport and back today. We have gotten our approval for our global passes, so it'll make it easier for us to travel. So that's very nice. We had a down day yesterday. Both of us were under the weather. Much better today for me. Handsome hubby is still in bed. So there you have it. But I had to get up and play yesterday some. And I worked in the altered book and I made some pockets. And that was very fun. So I'm dragging you along with me today. I have a thank you to send out to Little Miss Soaring. You know who you are. I'll use the code names here. And Kathy. Thank you. I got Happy Mail yesterday, so thank you very much. I'm sending some of Mikkel's work out, or his pages out, that he sent for all of us. So that's very fun. And I'm still purging and sending that stuff out. So, busy times here. I'm going to go set up a show tonight for my students. It's called a one-night stand, because the artwork is up for one night. You guessed it. And that show is tomorrow evening, so that's exciting as well. Anything else? I think not. See you. Okay, here's our project for today. I made 2 pockets in the book using envelopes, fabric, napkin, acrylic, gesso, Stabilo, of course. I did put some dangles on. I believe that's from Marcia. This is from Courtney. That's from my own stash, I think. This is from my stash. This is from Marcia. This is from G. I think so. I'm a little under the weather. Handsome hubby and I are both under the weather, but the show must go on. So here are the pockets. Aren't they gorgeous? And I'm going to put some tags in there and some dangles on the edge. I love it. Oh, book is looking good. I went back in with some gold foil. Give it a little bit more bling and pizzazz. Gorgeous. So I have 2 very pretty envelopes. I am going to take some of my deli prints and I'm just going to size it the best I can to that envelope. And I'm going to glue it inside this envelope. If you have made your own envelopes, this is a great fun way to use them. Take the other envelope and decorate the inside of that one as well. Doesn't have to be exact. Doesn't have to be an exact fit. I'm just bringing it up to the tip of the envelope here. Oh, I got a very messy station this morning. I'm going to take some scissors and I'm going to trim that off. And do the same to the other envelope. All right, I'm bringing my book back in. I have made sure that I have a stable two sides on this side, stable side on this side. I've already put some Mod Podge down, but then I decided to go back and embellish those envelopes a little bit. That's why they're so messy. All right, Mod Podge on that side. Line up the edge of the envelope with the edge of the page. Do the same thing on this side. All right, I have the two envelopes glued in there. I'm just going to put a piece of deli paper in there and turn that upside down. Let that stay until those envelopes are stuck. All right, let's talk about what we're going to need next. So these are pretty fancy envelopes, but you'll see the exterior of this part only. Everything else is going to be covered. So, I mean, not the inside, but everything else is going to be covered. So you don't have to use a fancy envelope if you don't have one. I have a piece of scrapbooking paper that's about the size of the two sheets together, covering both envelopes. I have some fabric circles and fabric dots. I don't know how many I have. We'll see when we start putting them down. And then I have some squares of fabric that are nice and stringy. So I'll just show you how I get the squares. And I just go down a strip of fabric and I just notch it. And then I just tear it like that. Nothing special, but it leaves yummy strings, and then it just doesn't take too long. So just notch down and tear some squares. And you're just going to need enough squares to randomly place on your scrapbooking paper with Mod Podge. And I got distracted. I'm going to have some craft paint. It's kind of like a it's Sea Breeze, now you know, and the art varnish, and gesso, and my baby blue, and maybe my silicone brush. So what I'm going to start doing first is just laying pieces of this fabric down with Mod Podge. I do have a little bit of a something going on today as far as sniffles and cold. I think it's more allergies. Handsome hubby is in the same boat. And we will leave some of that scrapbooking paper showing. And just go through your sheet and add some fun colors. You know I like the strings, but do what you need to do around that. I repositioned them so that they're more in a straight line. Yeah, more comfortable with that. Brandy, you know this is for you, right? A little bit of a fabric background here. You got it. All right, keep going. I'm just going to go over lightly with the Mod Podge. Make sure that there's some moisture on the top of that paper and fabric. There's a piece of deli sheet laying here. We're just gonna, that'll get tossed, right? We don't want that. We'll just stick that in there. That's good. All right, we'll bring those, oh, look at you, half glued. All right, well, we're gonna grab you as well. Yeah. Okay, very fun. All right, now I'm gonna lay some of these circles down. And you can use as many or as few as you would like, of course. And a dot. And I have these bigger circles, and I will put those down as well. Oh, we had fun in class last night. All the spray ink, which is all over my hands, which I love. All right, just continue on putting the dots that you cut out and the circles on your fabric and scrapbooking paper. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, see where I've removed some of the circles and the dots to expose the underneath. And I'm going to make sure I got all my dots and circles off. Sometimes they hide. All right, going to let that dry. All right, I've decided to go with the green rather than the blue, maybe. So I'll put some of that down. Equal amount of the varnish. I have some plastic wrap standing by. You know what, we're going to just toss some of that blue in there. What the heck? And I'm going to take this plastic wrap and scrunch it all up. Put it on half of that. Fold it in half. Give it a good smush. All right, I'm going to leave that for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's just open that up. Beautiful. Take that plastic wrap off there. Come on. Oh, goodness. That is gorgeous. We've got some beautiful texture going on there, some nice colors, all different things going on. All right, that has to dry before I can play with it anymore. It is mostly dry, so I'm going to go in with the Stabilo, and I'm going to just accentuate some of those circles. Okay, just have fun with that. Stabilo away. I'm going to go in and just pick up a couple of the edges of the fabric. My pencil sharpener is one-sided right now for some reason. So it just likes to sharpen one side of that Stabilo. Handsome hubby's going to have to look at that. That's unacceptable. All right, fold that guy in half. I'm going to cut him. And each one I'm going to cut into 4 pieces. Bring my book back in. Now these are the liners from a wine box, and I'm just going to put those in here to protect the interior of that envelope. And then I am going to reconstruct a few of these patches on here, glue them on. With some Mod Podge. And I just cut that along that envelope line, like that. We're going to have some gaps, I hope, and some areas that overlap. Could do that. Could do that. So I have these two glued down. I'm going to glue this one down here, this one down here, and then put this in someplace. Wiggledy-piggledy. Oh yes, please. So I have everything Mod Podge down, and I'm just massaging it down so that it stays. I'm not going to take this out yet because I'm going to do some Stabilo work on here. Oh, isn't that fun? That is fun. All right, so let's turn the book around. One, two, three, and 4. That's always a good thing that we have 4 of them. I think I'm more comfortable cutting from this side, so just eyeballing it. So I'll glue this down, I'll make another triangle on that side. Okay, I have this flap down, this flap down. I'll glue this here and that there, and then bring that across. So fun. So I have a little bit of an overhang there. I will just go in there and trim that. And yeah, that's okay there. All right, now I would like to bring some continuity to it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a napkin and put a napkin on there to cover all of it. Let me go find a fun napkin. All right, here's the napkin I chose. This is just a 2-ply. So I'm just going to take the one layer off it, and then it'll be ready to go. I think someplace in there like that. All right, Mod Podge, please. And I'm not going to worry too much about it being over the edges of the envelope because I'll just be ripping that off. That's no big deal. This is gorgeous. And then with some Mod Podge, I will go on the top. And let that dry, and then I'll rip that napkin off there. Okay, everything's nice and dry. I'm going to take a small watercolor brush with some water on it and go along this napkin edge. Take out my protection. Put some Mod Podge under here. Push that napkin down. And go on the other side. And let that dry. It's beautiful. Okay, with a wet paintbrush, I'm going to go along the edge of the napkin. If there's Mod Podge on the napkin, it's more resistant to tearing, but I'm okay with that. It'll just tear a little bit uneven. And you know I like that. Oh, yes, I do. I'll save that, though. All right, I waited for the edge to dry before I brought my Stabilo in, and I'm just going to go around and Stabilo the edge of all the envelope. You know how to do that. And I'm also going to go in on these seams, bring our texture out a little bit. And I'll do this to the other envelope as well. Beautiful. So this is ready for some tags. I'm going to pop a hole in the end of that. And this was something that was gifted to me. One of you will recognize that. And I'm going to just pop that through that hole. And I'll put a little dangle on there too. So, so fun. Your turn. Go create. Go play. Go have fun.